Okay, tip number 1, you're gonna go to lids. Tip number 2, you're gonna get a flex fit hat. You're gonna get a flex fit hat. Fitted hats are out, snapbacks are out, Velcro straps are out, dad hats are out. Flex fits are coming back, dude. You're gonna get a flex fit hat, a flex fit Alpine Star hat. You're gonna put it on your head backwards like this. Okay, let's say you're gonna do your first drop. First drop of your brand. You've been working hard, you've come up with some good ideas, you have a pair of pants, you have a hoodie, you have a t-shirt, you have a hat. You have that's like 2 looks on a model. You could do it how fucking every single kid does, where you can like take some photos on your iPhone of someone like wearing a fit pic, and then take some flat photos of it like on the ground, and then hey, like this is my first drop, like this shit coming out. You can find a model, crazy looking model, go to the studio, take the photos properly. That's probably gonna run you like a couple $100, but you could probably find like a kid at like university that's a photography student, hit up a girl on Instagram. It's really not that hard to find a nice model. You do that, you shoot your photos, your shit looks immediately as good as like an actual brand. The more professional you make your clothing look, and the more professional and I guess proper you make things look, even if the clothing is crazy, the more money you can sell your clothing for, and the more serious people will take you, which is sadly really fucking important. Hello.
What can I get for you?
Can I please get a grande pumpkin cream cold brew? Yeah, that's it. Thank you. What's up, guys? This is going to be a video where I am going to give you guys 5 tips on starting your own clothing brand. A little bit about me before I get into the tips and how I've learned them and how, I've done what I've done. So I started designing clothes literally when I was in like grade 11 in high school. I've always been into clothes. I just started putting safety pins in shit. First, I had a brand, I called it like Romulus for like a little while, and I was just like sewing cargo pants, tapering cargo pants I bought at a store and selling them. And something in my mind clicked, and that's what I've been doing ever since. I'm 23 now. I started when I was 16. From that, I started a brand called James Wallace Online. That was my name. My name is James Wallace. I did that for a couple years. After that, I started a different brand called Haunted Starbucks as a complete joke. And over the past 4 years, I've grown that from being like a silly, funny t-shirt thing into a store that's stocked in Tokyo, South Korea, Austria, Toronto, basically, pretty worldwide. We've done over $1 million US in revenue, like a decent amount, over $1 million. I still live with my parents in the suburbs in Canada, but things have been going really well. And yeah, and so I guess what I'm here to say is you can do it too. And you don't need to be from anywhere cool. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to be good looking. You don't need to fucking do anything. You just need 5 key things. The 5 tips on how to be successful as a designer. Here's what I can give you. Number 1, originality. Number 2, consistency. Number 3, professionalism. Number 4 is focusing on the big picture. And number 5 is looking and seeing yourself as a student and not as someone who knows what they're talking about, and always trying to learn and grow. Okay, originality. So the reason people buy clothes off little brands on the internet is because you're offering something that big, more established brands don't. So whatever that thing may be is something you need to figure out. So the way I figured that out is I kind of just threw shit at the wall for years, and I learned and grew and found something that I can offer that other people don't offer. And I realized with Haunted Starbucks, the reason people like it, the reason it's successful, is because it takes a different approach to fashion than most brands do. It's crazy. I'll go to the extremes that other people aren't really willing to go to. It has the crazy logos. On top of that, it also offers nice silhouettes and good fits. I pay a lot of attention to draping, to pattern making, all that shit. So it's this really unique combination of like surrealist humor, and good design. So what you need to do is figure out what that is for yourself. And that might be a long process. That might take a long time. That might take you making designs over the course of fucking years and posting them on the internet and seeing what gets good feedback, seeing what doesn't, and adapting and kind of just going in a direction that you might have never even thought that you were going to end up in. And just kind of being open to the whole process. All right, consistency. The only way you're going to be successful is through consistency. You have to do this shit day in, day out, whether you want to or not. It's not going to happen overnight. And the difference between people that actually make it into something that becomes their life and people that don't is that they treat it like it's their life. If you want to actually have a brand and be successful, and that's what you want to do with your life, that needs to be something you do every day. And let's say you've been doing it for a while and you get a big break and you have a drop and it makes a bunch of money. Okay, great. You can't slow down. You have to keep going. That's not an excuse to like let off the gas a little bit. That means you have to go even harder. It can't be something that you do here and there sporadically. It needs to be an effort of every single day. You're going at it, you're getting after it, you're designing, you're putting shit out. You have to be consistent, and you have to, the only way that you're gonna grow your audience and the only way it's gonna get bigger is if you're constantly just putting shit out. This is maybe the most important one. This is professionalism. Let's say you got your little Instagram brand and you're making hoodies. Take high quality product photos of your clothing. It doesn't matter if it's a hoodie, it doesn't matter if it's a t-shirt with your little logo on it. Hire a photographer, find a photography studio, and shoot the photos properly. It will make your clothes look so much better and so much more professional and presentable, and it will justify you charging whatever you want for it. Okay, professionalism is so important. What you need to do is, one, you need to find somebody that's an actual model. You need to go out there and you need to find, don't get your fucking buddy from high school. Don't get your girlfriend, your like spicy Latina little girlfriend. Go out there and find someone that's like 6 feet tall, fucking 110 pounds, and has a fucking insane jawline and looks kind of crazy and like weird. You need an actual like Essence style, like runway looking model to model your clothes. There's a reason that modeling is a profession, and there's a reason that the people you see wearing the really expensive clothing kind of all look like that. It's because they make the clothes look 1,000 times better. Pay for or find someone to model your clothes that looks like an actual runway professional model. Okay, focusing on the big picture. In a brand, making the clothing is like 20% of the process. And it's 20% and it takes a lot of time and it's very detail oriented. Let's say you're getting a pair of pants made. Pants are just a bunch of small little detail measurements put together and communicated to a factory as best you possibly can on how you want them to look and how you want them to fit, right? How big do you want the waistband? How many fucking belt loops do you want? What's the inseam? What's the leg opening at the bottom? How do you want the back pocket? Are there embroidery, details, buttons, zippers? How long you want the fucking crotch? All these things, right? People think, okay, I'm a designer, and then that's fucking everything. That's what you need to focus on. That's just a fucking fraction of it. If you're running your own business, fucking making the item is obviously important, but that's like 20% of it. The rest is how are you gonna sell it? How are you gonna market it? How are you gonna plan a photo shoot for it? You need to be fucking designer, fucking advertiser, creative director, photographer. You have to know how to do e-commerce and fucking answer customer service shit, build an audience, build a community. There's so many different things you need to focus on that you can't spend all your time just on the clothing. That's just a part of it. It's important, it's a big part of it, but it's a part of it. How are you gonna get your customers to stick around? How are you gonna get people to come to you over other brands, over other things? Community is important, Discord, YouTube, all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram. How your online website looks. You gotta fucking know how to do that. You have to know how to edit. You have to know how to be engaging, how to get people's attention on social media. So you have to think about all these things and be good at kind of juggling and balancing them and consistently doing them all. And that's why I think kind of more than anything, having an idea for a big picture is really important to having success. Because even there's designers that are better than me. I think I have good ideas, but I'm not by any stretch of the imagination that technical or that skilled or that even good at like color coordination or styling. But the thing that I'm good at, and the reason that I've been successful, is because I realized that just because you have an awesome, amazing piece of clothing that's like fucking the coolest, most technical thing ever, doesn't mean anyone's gonna want to buy it, and that doesn't mean you're gonna have a successful brand just by having a cool piece of clothing. It's all these other things. Another important one, and this is the last one. You have to be humble. You have to always be learning, and you have to always be looking at what you can learn. The reason people are successful, like really successful, is because they never stop learning, and they never stop thinking, oh, how can I be better? How can I take this opportunity, whatever just happened, and how can I use that to be better in the future? Ego is a big thing in any sort of art, fashion, music, design, furniture. You get a lot of pretentious people, and you get a lot of people that think they're the best at what they do. And I think that comes with the territory of being, hey, you have to have peers, and you have to have friends around you that are also doing what you're doing. And you have to not be jealous of them, but see what they're doing that's successful, and then apply that to what you're doing. Use that as motivation to go harder. At this point, I've met a lot of people that are wildly more successful than I am. And you can take that in two ways. You can take that as, oh, yo, fuck that guy, dude. Like, I'm better than this dude. Like, yo, fuck that guy. He's making shit. I'm doing crazy shit. I'm doing shit nobody doing. You could look at it like that, and then you could be, a retard and not make any money. Or you can look at it and you go, oh, wow, look how successful this person is. What can I learn from them that will help me with what I'm doing? I want to befriend this person, and I want to analyze what they're doing and ask them questions and make them like me, so they're going to tell me what I'm doing wrong and what I can do better. You have to think, I'm a student, I have a lot to learn. I don't know what I'm doing, and I need to learn more and become more skilled and more technical, and constantly just be taking in as much information as you can and applying it to what you do in all aspects of life and all fucking everything. And yeah. All right, I hope that was in some way helpful to you guys. If I have any more just kind of loose random tips, it would be to find a factory, build a relationship with them, and make your stuff from scratch. I think blanks are kind of just not cool. And if you're a designer, you should be making your clothes from scratch. I would say having friends that are also doing it is really good. Befriending people that are doing it. Having a community around you. Another tip is like getting cool rappers or whatever to wear your stuff doesn't really do as much as you think it would. Like if, let's say you got a little brand, you have 1,000 followers, and then fucking like Net Spend wears your hoodie or some shit. That'll probably only get you like at most like 50 sales. It's not really gonna change your life. So don't put too much emphasis on it. One more bonus tip for you guys. Don't get canceled because you DM'd the girl some crazy shit. Keep working business separate. If you are a public figure, and if you are out there trying to make a living off of people liking you and wanting to buy your clothes, do not be sending schmeat pics to girls. Do not be DMing people crazy shit. Because that shit'll come back and bite you. If you're in the public eye, do not get canceled. Watch what you say to people. Especially girls, dude. A lot of girls use, calling a guy out as like social leverage. So you need to really watch who you talk to and watch what you say around people on the internet. If what you're trying to do is like get an audience going. And yeah, because there's going to be people that want to take advantage of you. There's going to be people that want to use you to get ahead. And some of those are going to be a lot easier to spot than others. And some of the time it might be in the form of a really cute girl that wants to like model for you or something. And then you think maybe she's got a thing for you. And then you know, maybe you DM her some crazy shit, and then she's fucking tells all her friends, and then screenshots it, and then they convince her to post it, and then all of a sudden, this audience you had now thinks you're like a clown or something. Like, I've seen this happen to a lot of guys where, and honestly, it's mostly in music. It's not too much in fashion, but one of the problems with being a very public, like, figurehead of your brand is it's a lot easier for people to stop liking the brand if you do some crazy shit. So just something to keep in mind. You got to think about things long term. You have to think about what you're saying to people, how you're presenting yourself, because that's a really good way to just kill all the motion you got going. So keep it in your pants, guys. I promise you that will help. There's no downside to doing that.